Sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Let me get right into it. I'm not gonna be on here all that long. Man, I hear boxing talk sometimes, man, and some of the discussions are so unbelievably dumb. I don't even know what world I'm living in. Are we watching the same sport? Um, and to sit around and watch the people that watch this shit and don't ask any questions, don't present any opposing viewpoints, don't speak with any logic. Like, what the fuck sometimes? But this shit, I'm dumbfounded. And it's really not to, it's really not to take shots at anybody unnecessarily or hate on anybody. This is common sense shit. I'm not even gonna start with Adrien Broner. I'm gonna back it up to a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't speak on it when I saw it. Regis Prograde. Huge fan of Regis Prograde. I hate that Regis Prograde is kind of on the outside looking in when it comes to the titles at 140, the ones that got freed up. I think it was the WBO belt and the WBA, I believe. And he made a video on Instagram a couple of weeks ago asking about, again, heartfelt. But he's sitting here going live, asking the fans and basically just like airing his grievances publicly that why is he being skipped over? Why isn't he being considered for any of these fights? How is he not being considered for any of these title fights? And it's like, I'm just sitting here listening to him like, bruh, what the fuck are you asking me for? What are you asking us for? Why aren't you on here telling us what your management told you? Why aren't you on here telling us what your promoter told you? Why you on the outside looking in? What the fuck you coming to us for? As a boxing fan, you got to do all the heavy lifting in this shit to make it work. What the fuck you asking me for? You the one that got the email addresses to the right contacts at the sanctioning bodies. You have a manager. You have a promoter. You have a trainer. All of these people are industry insiders. What the fuck you looking at a camera for asking us? I'm asking the same question. So we just both sit here looking stupid. I thought it was a bad look for him. You don't seem to be you can't have the right team around you if you asking the internet. I'm dumbfounded. Like I said, this shit is astonishing to me. I'm enjoying my IPA tonight. The Adrien Broner situation. So Adrien Broner gets mad that his press conference is virtual. It's been going on for 2 or 3. You know how when some shit happens, some shit gets introduced during crises, and then after the crises, some new practices that came into play, they don't go away. So the ESPN, Showtime, DAZN, Golden Boy, Dimitri Salita Promotions, everybody started doing Zoom press conferences, virtual press conferences. And obviously, motherfuckers realize it's a way to save money. It's not necessarily a knock against your event. By them doing this shit virtually, maybe they saved a couple of money, a couple of $100,000 or something to give to you as part of your purse, where we didn't have to go through the logistics to move everybody around to get in one situation. Maybe the fucking COVID numbers are an issue and nobody wants you to lose out on a fight date by you having to travel and shit. But it's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. And they hate me. My thing, and it's Adrien Broner, cool, whatever. That's what he does. But Steven Espinosa, I sign your checks Al Heyman, I play a role in signing your checks. And you go out to the public and disrespect me like that and sully my name like that repeatedly. And I'm supposed to get you a fight date and work together to get you a fight date? I mean, how much of a cuckold does because Steven Espinosa's a white dude, he gotta be a fucking cuckold and just sit here and get disrespected and ain't supposed to have no fucking backbone to please a lot of black boxing fans? This shit bugs me out. But anyway, I don't really have any, whatever. Adrien did, he kept it a buck with Omar. Said, let's get our training in, be ready to show up, put on a show. Let's bust each other up and do what we got to do. And said he'd be on Custer's show. Again, when Spreewell choked the shit out of my man back in the day, Carlissimo, he had to sit down, right? When Keyshawn Johnson told everybody go fuck themselves and threw shit on the sideline, he had to go sit down, right? Antonio Brown, when he fucked shit up in Tampa Bay and threw his shit up into the thing, he had to go sit down, right? What's so special about Adrien Broner? The dumbass, the ignorant ass conversation. The shit, I'm scratching my fucking head. How is this a discussion? This shit gotta put me in the crosshairs of other black people that Adrien Broner is the face of boxing. I feel sorry for you. If you sit here and watch any channel on this goddamn app and allow them to tell you that Adrien Broner is the face of boxing, what the fuck is wrong with you? Where is your critical thinking? Where is your understanding of how shit works? The man didn't have a win for 4 years. That's not me making it up. That's not my knock against him. That's what his record says. The man didn't have a win for 4 years. How are you the face of boxing? You fight once a year, if not once every 18 to 20 months. How would a sport have its face of the sport and they show one game a year of you? The NFL doesn't put the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football. They don't put the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football. They don't put the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football. The NBA does not put the fucking Sacramento Kings on the game. The Detroit Pistons do not get to be on TV. How the fuck is Adrien Broner the face of boxing? I don't even know what weight division he's in. How are you the face of boxing when you don't even fight fucking top 5 and top 10, top 20 guys? The same person that'll sit here and say Adrien Broner is the face of boxing go and have a fucking problem and talk all kind of shit about Ryan Garcia for facing Javier Fortuna and say that Javier Fortuna ain't been shit. But conversely, Adrien Broner can go fight Giovanni Santiago, who none of us knew. He can go fight him, win I don't know if it was a majority split decision, whatever, get the victory, and then get on a fucking YouTube channel and say that the man actually deserves a shot at the undisputed 140-pound title. How does that even match? How does that even jive? You go fight somebody we never heard of. I thought he won the fight, but it wasn't like he looked great doing it. But how do you come out of that fight and then you just jump to the fucking front of the line and fight a dude who has 4 titles? What world is that? What boxing is that? If you sit on one of these channels, man, and let one of these dudes tell you that this dude is the face of boxing, then what are we doing? You don't see the fucking Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. I usually don't name names, and I don't even want to say this dude's name. I'm not even gonna say his name, but I guess he did a video and convinced some people, some gullible people, that according to his shit, what up, J Finn? According to his stats and shit that he put together, who knows what the fuck he cooked up, where he got this shit from, and said, indisputably, this man is the face of boxing. How? How do you not win a fight for 4 fucking years and you the face of boxing? Every other sport, shit gotta make sense before we run with it. I mean, we just saw this year, Dame Lillard sat down for the Blazers. You didn't see the Blazers on TV no more. I didn't even know Dame Lillard, I didn't even know what the fuck happened with him this year. He was just gone. But now we would sit here as black boxing fans and be up in arms about Adrien Broner is the face of boxing. And I got to come on here and be the bad guy because I'm just like, how? I'm lost. I'm lost. How the fuck do y'all keep watching these channels? And this is no hatred towards Adrien Broner. I hope he get his shit together. I hope he looks good against Omar Figueroa. I mean, what would be the numbers and the stats that you use in the show that this dude is the face of boxing? I mean, what arena are you selling out? Nobody's really selling out arenas. What outstanding TV numbers do you have when you only fight once every 20 months against somebody that we don't even know? The Russell boy came, the Russell brother came along and beat the shit out of Giovanni Santiago. That's the thing, like, he's not even in a position where we even demand that he fight anybody. If he's a welterweight, we're not saying he got to fight Boots. We're not saying that he got to fight Virgil Ortiz. I'm really fucked up about how we even go about this. Like, just because he is what he is and did what he did 8 years ago, he's supposed to step to the front of the line in these different scenarios, and the shit don't make any sense. The shit just don't make any sense to me. What is the man's weight class? This is why I can't fuck with this boxing shit, man. I don't even know what the man's weight class is, but they say 140. I mean, I guess. But let's keep it real, Jay. I mean, okay, cool. You at 140, but I mean, you don't have to. You don't fight a former title holder or the number 2 guy, the number 3 guy, like. And that's what I said with how could we place that expectation on Ryan Garcia? Why he got to fight the number 2 and number 3 guy to get a title fight if Broner don't have to fight nobody to get a title fight? This is why I just fall back and I let the professionals put this shit together. I let them make the schedule. And then I just watch what I watch and I skip what I skip. But to get out here talking about what should happen and ain't no logic in none of this shit is just, it's absurd to me. Anyway, man, I'm not even going to waste a lot more time on Broner. I'm just like, face of boxing. I was trying to think of an analogy and I couldn't get to one. I mean, but everybody else, you got to show up for work and be a leader in your industry to be the face of it. If Tom Brady only played in the playoffs, or Patrick Mahomes only showed up for the last 2 games of the season, we do some weird shit, man. We do some weird shit. Anyway, Ryan Garcia. Move the post, Ryan Garcia. From my understanding, the Fortuna camp wanted the 140-pound weight limit for their fight, for their contracted weight. That's what my understanding was. I could be wrong. They agreed to it. They knew he wasn't shit anyway. They agreed, yeah, whatever. Let's just get this fight in. I need your scalp on my resume, whatever. He go in there, he does what he does. And now you just come out and you just say, well, I don't fight at 135 no more. I'm at 140. And if Tank wants to fight me, we fight at 140. What I'm really getting at is, when the fuck do we quit putting these kids on TV and these mics in front of these dudes? When the fuck does Oscar and Floyd get in front of the camera at the table? Where the fuck is Roberto Diaz, Eric Gomez, and across the table from Leonard Ellaby? When do we get the fucking adults in the room and we can get some real statements on the shit? I mean, this goofy ass shit that Ryan Garcia talking about, this shit is, again, man, I thought boxing was serious, man, but this shit is goofy as fuck. I gotta hear Jake Paul updates every day. I gotta hear who the fuck Floyd is fighting over in the desert. Tyson Fury won $500 billion for a fight, come back the next day, want to fight for free. What's with all the bullshit in this goofy ass sport? You a 135, I mean, you were a 135 dude up into this fight. Now you come in and you say, I want to fight him at, but then that's the thing though. Real talk. If weight is the only issue, then the fight really should happen. Like if the network bullshit isn't a problem, the fight should happen. If Floyd say 135 and the fight can get made and the network shit is sorted out, if the only issue is the weight, then they should do the fight at 135 if he really wanted to fight. The thing that gets to me is, like, if you don't make this fight, what is your next fight for both of these guys? Who does Tank fight? You had all these makeup fights and these fights you tried to sell us. But when do you do something that's really really meaningful? And for Ryan Garcia, like, you had the Campbell fight, you got off the canvas, you got the big knockout, you jumped up and put your legs around the man, and y'all did y'all shit into all this silly shit in the ring, and then you disappeared for a year or whatever, a year plus. You come back and you beat this dude who was what he was, and now you come out with this goofy shit. And it's forget the belts, and I don't need this. And when the fuck do the real people get to talking, and we can get an idea? They're not champions, so catch weighted, right? 38 cents. That's my thing. That's what I'm saying. If weight is because the thing is this, the zone. There's no way in the world that the zone should sit here and they not be involved in the fight. They're in the pay-per-view game now. Y'all got to work together and split the shit. I don't know the numbers and the money and all that shit, but how could you just sit here and say that it's gonna be all our way? And the zone has done what it has done in putting Ryan and getting them to this point. I mean, let's be reasonable. But like I said, if it came down to weight, and that was the only stipulation to get the fight made, that shit y'all should be able to figure that out. Like you said, Finney, you either fight at 137, 137 and a half, 138. Like you said, ain't neither one of y'all got no belt. Y'all in this limbo shit that y'all trying to do out here. Just get the fight done. And the thing with Golden Boy in general, though, You got Munguia over here. You picking these opponents. You putting together these bullshit ass fights for him. Recycling these guys, and I know they tried to make a run at the fight with Jamal. I guess that was, again, it came down to allegedly it all had to go down on Showtime or whatever, and the Zone couldn't be involved in whatever. But whatever. But Virgil Ortiz, I understand. He's at the welterweight division. It's very difficult for you to get to the top right there because of the dudes who are at the top. But you get into a situation for both of those guys, in my opinion, for Tank and Ryan Garcia. If the next name ain't great, to me, you run the risk of being in the same boat as Jamal Charlo with the Selesky fight a couple of months ago or last month. You knew that was some bullshit when you put it on the calendar. It never really caught on, and nobody was never interested in that shit. And then you just scratched it. And that's what it's going to come down to. Like, we're not going to keep paying for... I haven't paid for none of Tank's fights. I haven't even watched any of his fights. I don't know. I just saw the highlights, and that's it. I'm not paying for none of that shit. You either fight who I want, or I just sit here and I just keep getting the updates on it. But I'm not paying for none of this bullshit. I feel a certain way paying pay-per-view for a non-title fight to begin with. I'm being nice on trying to support the shit on that detail right there. Which brings back to my mind with the whole Adrien Broner thing. I mean, we talk about the mental health shit a lot, and you got to sit here and overlook people saying, oh, you have to overlook these episodes that people have. But, you know, that's really not apples to apples. You know, to go straight to, they don't do this shit to Floyd. And again, us as the public, we sit out here and you okay that shit. You go along with that shit. That's not apples to apples. The fact that they had the Ortiz fight, I mean the Ortiz and Ruiz, that they had a press conference for that. I mean, it's obviously different levels there. That's a pay-per-view bout. And this is when I watch some of these dumbass channels and ain't nobody talking no real business, no real facts, and just talking this stupid ass shit. How do you not make the distinction between a pay-per-view fight, a pay-per-view bout, and then a regular Showtime fight? And then when it gets in the live chat on some of this shit, the person on the screen, it don't matter. That don't matter. They need to have you wasn't even gonna go to the fucking press conference. This boxing shit hard, boy. This shit hard. Anyway. Finney, man, if you still on there, what happened to Imani, man? This dude is at Eastern Michigan. He right up the street from you now. Eastern Michigan now? Supposed to be, you know, a number, you know, come and change the game and all that shit. And now, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's not a good look, but we'll see what he does this season. Anyway, man, let me get on off of here. Go try to get this ride in. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But we got a lot of great fights lined up for the end of the year. So I mean, I'm still excited however this shit go down. What does and doesn't happen. We still got a lot of we got at least what, 4 or 5 really top-notch fights on the calendar already. So I mean, if we don't get certain dates, you know, it's not the end of the world. But you know, some of these guys are getting to points where you don't have many more moves to make. And I think some of these people are going to get disappointed when it comes to trying to sell these fights. Let me get on off here, man. Bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Enjoy this.